Oh, a bit higher. Hang on. Ready? There we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Wednesday. We're going to do a nice little show for you, and then I shall take the wife to bed for Family Guy and a cup of tea, because that's what Valentine's Day looks like when you're over 30. It's as exciting as it gets, team. Welcome back to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit all those magical YouTube buttons for us. I've asked specifically for a Valentine's relevant 369 likes and 169 members. Okay. Lucy's not looking even remotely close to impressed. Not impressed? No? No? Okay, right, good. It's going to be quite a chill out stream tonight, people, because it's Valentine's Day anyway, so I thought we would just literally talk about the things we love about Warhammer. You could expand this if you're not particularly a Warhammer fan, which I imagine most of you are if you're here. You could expand about things you love about your hobby, I guess. There you go. I love trying out dumb stuff and getting away with it. Well, that could possibly be Warhammer relevant. It could also be non-Warhammer relevant. Before we get into it, a big shout out to Cornet Ed, who gifted 5 of the finest memberships and said, "What do I love about Warhammer? This channel and community for a start," which is a really nice thing to say. And then Kianan also gifted 5 as well. So we started on 10. They've given you a head start. You are amazing. That's a lot of channel memberships to get through even today. Maybe. Hey, SN, how's it going? Steve, how are you, dude? So yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot over the course of the last month or so, I reckon, because it's no secret that there's a lot of people out there that think that 10th edition 40k isn't a great edition, a great version of the game. A lot of people don't necessarily think it's that fun to play. There's also the other half of the crowd who do think it's fun and do think it's great. But at least in my little echo chamber, and surrounded by the people that I'm surrounded by, there's a lot of kind of animosity towards the current version of the game. And yet we're still playing it. We still do all of our 40k based streams. I'm still talking about it weekly. We're still playing in the studio, and I'm still laughing and enjoying myself. And I kind of took a step back and was like, well, what do I actually like? Why is it that I love it so much? What is it that I love? And we use this word because of the day that we're in today. What is it that I love about the hobby in general? What do I love about Warhammer? And I think that the biggest thing for me is the community-based experience. So I'm a big fan of, the lore and the narrative. It's one of the reasons why I love it so much. And when you do finally meet your tribe, when you meet those people who like the game the same way that you like the game, enjoy the aspect of the hobby that you enjoy, it can be some of the most wholesome experiences you have. So people that enjoy the narrative, they like to make thematic lists, they like to play the game in the spirit that I think is intended, because it ultimately is just a game. It's not, I don't think anyone should ever be in a position where they feel they need to bake dice or, lie about the result or, that kind of stuff. I also personally, this is a personal preference thing, chat, I hate things like chess clocks, because for me it's a game. I understand them at tournaments, but I hate chess clocks because you should be able to just stand there and enjoy yourself and play the game. So I love finding the people that like the game the way that I like the game, and they'll make choices on the tabletop that are kind of more narrative sided rather than points based. So I'm going to come off the subjective and charge that unit because I'm running World Eaters, rather than I'm going to stand here with my pants down and score some points instead. And I think that's the thing that I've loved the most. And I guess over the course of the last few years, especially with doing the channel, especially what happened last year as well, the community was a huge, huge part of how we got through it, how we pushed on, and how we've managed to be successful, get ourselves a studio, etc. So I guess for me, the hobby love is not just about the actual physical product. It's not about the models and the tabletop and the terrain and the gaming, but it's about the people that make the hobby happen. Because ultimately, for a hobby like Warhammer, if there's no people, there's no hobby. Mm-hmm. Well, to a point. I mean, you get what I'm saying. You can sit at home, you can build and paint, but when it comes to putting it on the tabletop, you need that community. You need those like-minded people to be able to enjoy it. Now, I do absolutely adore the lore. This is the thing that I'm kind of concerned with the Amazon contract that's coming soon as well, because I am hoping and I'm leaning towards at the moment they're going to stay true to lore, true to narrative, and I think it's going to be quite big and quite impressive, but it does worry me that they might change the lore a bit too drastically to make it kind of mainstream, because I absolutely adore the lore that comes around it as well. And I love how passionate people get around the narrative. I love how passionate people get around the narrative of Warhammer 40k, and how true to lore you need to be for people to be happy with what you're doing narratively. I kind of actually do quite love that. But hobbies themselves as well, and I'm conscious that I've turned this into a job. but hobbies themselves as well. I love the fact this is one of the biggest things. This is something that you can apply to Warhammer. You can apply to knitting. You can apply to video gaming. You can apply to anything that you like to do. I love the escapism. I love the ability to sit back, shut off, build your model, knit your... What were you knitting? Jumper?
Who knows?
Cardigan?
Who
Cardigan?
knows?
Was it a cardigan?
It was a cardigan, and then it just got too long, and then I just...
I was paying attention, see? Or play your Call of Duty, or practice on your guitar, or do your gardening. Like one of the things I love the most about a hobby in general is it's just flat escapism. You can disappear into your thing, and you don't have to be good at it either. You can just disappear into it.
The wonderful thing about gardening as a hobby is that you go into your garden to escape, and then it's ruined by the neighbours wanting to have a chat with you, and you're trying to politely say, I'm trying to escape the chaos of having to make small talk with a 6-year-old. Yeah. Can we not? And then you end up, because you're worried about being rude to your neighbour, you end up chatting to your neighbour and not actually gardening.
So Luce doesn't like the gardening community. Mordy Hammer, thank you for the 5 gifted. You're a hero. What a legend. Thank you so much. Mr. Cavill wasn't the one who ruined The Witcher, so there's hope. There is hope, absolutely. Arnold Evening. I have faith in Amazon, me too. Any new things happening for the channel in the coming weeks? Yesterday, I recorded my first ever pre-recorded podcast on the show with a guest in the new studio. It's not my first ever pre-recorded podcast. We've done them before. It's kind of how the channel started. I'm going back to the roots of the channel, where we used to do pre-recorded and have a conversation. And we had a guest come in yesterday, Mr. James from Siege, one of our big sponsors.
Mr. the Siege,
yeah, who came in yesterday. And I haven't looked at the footage yet because I had dramas yesterday, but I felt like it went really well as a podcast, and I'm really looking forward to editing it.
Okay.
Like, really looking forward to editing it. What I do have to do, because I'm conscious that I don't know if I've done this yet. Why is it not working? I need to put this on our speakers. I'll turn the speakers on. Turn the volume up. We had no Vinny music. I was like, it sounds weird. Why does it sound weird?
Oh, yeah.
There we go. We've got Vinny music back. We can hear it now. Only because I'm conscious that Mrs. Alimanos has a super chat coming through and she'll read it out to us. Christopher Sanford, Stu Will, thank you both of you, you wonderful humans, for the 5 gifted. I think I already thanked Mordy Hammer. If I haven't, thank you, Mordy Hammer, for the 5 gifted. 25 hobby levels already.
Best thing about Warhammer, it doesn't cheat on you, so that is what I'm thankful for Valentine's Day.
I mean, the dice can though, Lehman, can't they? The dice absolutely can cheat on you. That happens to me a lot. Sad face. Do you think GW is going to finish the story and do restarts, or will the world again be on the verge of existence, but everyone will be saved by a piano in the bushes? I feel like my gut tells me that the best thing they can do. I think the best thing they can do is create new narrative for screen. Have you ever?
I love the silly joy that painting my silly little toy soldiers gives me, and the boost to my silly mental health. I love that I've got my lovely peeps in here. You are all legends. Peace and love, X.
Thank you, Jill, for the 10. Nothing about it silly, though. People that call this hobby silly are the people that don't understand it. It's as simple as that. But thank you so much for the 10. You are also an absolute legend. Have you ever read a book and then watched the television program or film and gone, that's not it?
Yes, but I'm very aware that I seem to focus on the small detail of the book that other people might have missed. So the main plot is the same, but the little details that when I read the book didn't really bother me, but then when it's missing in the film and I go, why haven't they shown that? The film's 3 hours long. They could have spent 5 seconds on that.
So we're talking about Warhammer 40k, right? And we're talking about the Warhammer 40k fan base and audience, which is essentially I don't know what the collective noun would be called. Let's call it a gaggle of autists, right?
Let's see now. What's the collective noun for autistic people?
So let's call it a gaggle for now, because they're not that organised.
A pedantic of autists.
Right. So people that will read those books, and they don't like the fact that he's called Scrap Metal Man Loose. He's got a name, right? So they will pick up on all the details if they try and take those books that currently exist and turn them into films or television series. This happened in Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is a huge set of books, which if you were to put every single part of those books into the television, into the films, you wouldn't have had 3 4-hour films. You'd have had 20 10-hour films, right? You just would have done if you'd have covered every little detail. And I am a huge fan of the books. I'm a huge fan of the films. I am a huge fan of both. But there is a ton of people that loved the books who didn't like the films because lots of the detail was missing that they thought at least was important to the storytelling of Lord of the Rings. Okay. I feel like Warhammer and the Warhammer fan base would be similar and therefore would have the same experience that you had.
I got into the hobby for the model build. I found building, painting my space wolves. I write books about werewolves, and I found it to be so relaxing. Exactly what I wanted/needed.
That's amazing, Stu. I need to read some of your books about werewolves. That sounds cool. Do you, in your Irish accent, do audiobooks? Because I don't actually really read ever, right? But yeah, so that experience. What was the program book? Do you remember?
The one that I first watched as a film.
After reading it, yeah.
Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe.
Well, so your Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe experience. I feel like knowing the Warhammer 40k crowd, I feel like that's what they would be like. Like this isn't right. This isn't what Dan wrote in the books. This isn't what Aaron wrote in the books. This is wrong. So I feel like the safest bet. And considering all the authors for things like the Warhammer 40k novels, it's not like Tolkien, right? All the authors for the Warhammer 40k novels are still alive. So you could have them involved in writing this new narrative for screenplay.
I wonder if that's why, well, J.K. Rowling's still alive and there was an awful lot missing from the Harry Potter films. I was going to say, maybe because the authors are still alive, they're able to say, Mr. Director, where's this bit?
The thing is, you have to make allowances for screenplay over writing, right? Cornet says, Lord of the Rings proved careful editing for cinematic reasons can work wonderfully. The Hobbit proved it can go wrong. That's in a nutshell, that's exactly right, though. So I think you have to make allowances, but I think, I don't remember why we're asked this question. Oh, it's because we talked about the Amazon, the TV series, and how much I love the law. This is the tangents we go on, chat. I think that, honestly, that they can do an incredible job, but I think that the best way to do an incredible job is by creating new narrative for TV, rather than trying to do... The thing is, as well, what are they going to do? Pick the Horror Heresy books, like 40 books?
Yeah.
You'll be writing TV set episodes for the next 20 years, which most of us will probably be okay with, but I'm not sure the budget stretches that far. I read a book or watch a film and watched... hang on. I read a book or watch a film and watch to replicate the look of the terrain on the table.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
That's cool. Wheel of Time is a fucking tragedy of a TV series. Starting to get into the books for the lore. Love the story of Lehman Russ, of the Space Wolf. That's amazing. Unless Scrap Metal Man is included. Not authentic enough for Luce. Yeah, exactly.
I kind of like his name. I know his name's Asherat, so I do like his name, but because Warhammer chooses very unusual words, it's hard for me to remember them, so I called him Scrap Metal Man.
Don't want to be a negative Nigel, but with what Amazon did with Wheel of Time, I have zero confidence. And Rings of Power I wasn't a fan of either, Christopher, to be fair. That's why I'm nervous. We'll see. I'll do a book just for you, well, and Luce as well, of course. We'll include Luce today. It's Valentine's Day, right? Dan Abnett helped write the screenplay for the Ultramarines movie years ago. That film was not good. Oh dear. Maybe I got it all wrong then, Skippy. They made a hash of Frank Herbert's Dune back in 1984. The new Dune is a lot closer to the books and is so much better than the film. I tried to watch that. I've actually tried to watch that. It's quite long and I got distracted. You'll be surprised to know. A 3-hour film, I got distracted halfway through it. But I need to watch that again because that looks like a very good film, actually. Do orcs always fight in no law reason? Need the green boys are always up for a proper fight? Right. I'm aware it's Valentine's Day, people, right? And I'm aware that some of you may have gone out with your other halves already. Maybe you've shared a bottle of wine. But if in chat you could type it in fucking English, it does make my life a lot easier.
Where's the fun in that?
It does make my life a lot easier. If you could actually write it in English, so when I read it out, it makes sense. I can then talk back to you much easier.
Have you read a book that's not Lord of the Rings and then watched the film, and actually the film has done better than the book, but you loved the book, which is why you watched the film?
I don't think so.
I have seen, I think it was on Netflix, a book I read last year, which I was pleasantly surprised by, was When Hitler Stole Pink Rabbit. And there's a film, but because Judith Kerr is German, so all the characters are German, it's with English subtitles but in German, and I really do struggle with subtitled films because I get far too drawn into the reading and not like the actors' faces and the scenery, because it'll be technically a period film, but I don't want to see it because I've already built it up in my head of what I think her childhood neighborhood looks like.
Honestly, I think so. I stopped and thought for a minute. You saw me stop, pause. I actually don't think, with the exception of 40k books, there's any narrative books I've ever read, because I don't read books. I'm not a bookworm. I've never been a bookworm. I read a bunch of books at school because I had to for English, and then as soon as I could stop reading them, I stopped. When I was younger specifically, I was much more interested in reading non-fiction than fiction. So I continued to do history in college because it's based on non-fiction. It's based on fact, right? It's based on what happened, and I always found that more interesting than reading fiction personally. Lord of the Rings was one of those things that broke the mold for me, because it's the high fantasy setting, and I love the high fantasy setting, and so that's why it broke the mold. And I read those books, but interestingly, I saw the first film for Lord of the Rings before I read the books. So I watched film 1.
Okay.
So I didn't know Lord of the Rings. Genuinely didn't know it existed. Watched film 1 when I was young. Watched film 1, read the books, watched film 2 and 3. Because they obviously came out later, right? Because I had to make them. So I guess that kind of, when I read the first book and I realized how much has been left out of it, I was like, when I read the second and third book, I was kind of already prepared that the second and third films were probably going to leave a load of stuff out. But I'd also seen some of the behind the scenes stuff as well, so I was kind of aware that there was reasons why they kind of taken those decisions. Because I don't think I ever actually watched Lord of the Rings in the cinema. I think it was all at home, interestingly. But yeah, so I apart from that, I've never read like a Bond novel and watched the film, or
Right, okay.
like aside from Lord of the Rings, the only fiction I've ever really read has been 40k.
I really struggle with fiction. I was really surprised, actually. You know Fern Britton that used to host This Morning with Philip Schofield?
Yeah.
She's actually a very good writer. I picked up one of her books by accident. Didn't realise it was her. Got to the end of it, looked at the cover again, and it was her. She's a very, very good writer, but normally I can't read fiction. Because it didn't happen, I can't buy into the idea. I don't know how I got through Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, because that obviously never happened.
Really?
But that's the first big book with very few pictures in it that I managed to finish, despite it being fiction. So I'm the same as you. I really struggle with fiction.
Yeah. It has to really interest me. Like Christopher says, geez, you must have been surprised when you started reading Hey Come Merry Doll. That whole thing, that whole part, Tom Bombadil is like an acid trip compared to the films. Like he doesn't.
Who?
Tom Bombadil is a character in the books who, when the hobbits leave the Shire, spoilers, but it's Lord of the Rings. When the hobbits leave the Shire, they come across this character, Tom Bombadil, before they even get anywhere near the Inn of the Prancing Pony, right? In the films, they leave the Shire, right?
Yeah.
They bump in. Frodo and Sam bump into Merry and Pippin at the farm. Well, that's already wrong. Anyway, they then, it's like 10 minutes of the film before they're basically at the inn, and they get chased by a rider once, and they end up on a ferry, like somewhere going through down some water. In the books, there's like 2-3 chapters, and as Tom Bombadil comes in and his other half, and he comes and rescues them from this horrible beast thing when they're in the cave. Like there's loads that happens in between.
I guess it doesn't reference back to it further in the book, so it can be cut.
Well, that's what Peter Jackson said. Peter Jackson said when we looked at him as a character, said, does he really have a significant impact on the overall story, the actual tale we're trying to tell of the ring leaving the Shire and going to Mordor? The answer is no.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So they just removed it all from the book, from the films, and was like, there's a couple of.
Do you reckon they were like, whew, that's 45 minutes cut?
There's a couple of little Easter eggs. There's a couple of little hat tips that happens, and there's some bits in there that Tom has said, or some bits from his like poems and stuff that are in the films to kind of reference the fact that, hey, we know Tom exists, we know he's a big part of the books, but because even the Council of Elrond, right, on the film, they all sit around a table. There's like 10 minutes where they go, right, we're going to Mordor, are we? We're off. Like it's like a fucking. Like 2 chapters or something, Like Gandalf goes and tells us, like everyone tells a story that's fucking God knows how many pages long around that council. They even talk about we probably should have invited Tom Bombadil, and then Gandalf's he wouldn't have cut. Like, but that's all gone. This doesn't exist in the film.
Yeah, because who's Tom?
Because who's Tom? He's fucking gone. They chop bits out. While Tom Bombadil is important from a world building aspect, he tanks the flow of the story. Oh, absolutely, yeah, 100%. He's very important in the book to kind of tell show the scene and setting of the whole kind of fantasy world, which with cinema you can do with visual, and you can't do that in a book with visual. You have to kind of explain the visual, so then you have to kind of bring characters and aspects in to be able to explain the visual. You don't need to do that when you got cinema, because you can just show people what it looks like. Yeah, I watched the film. You're right. I watched the film. I started listening reading the book, because there wasn't audiobooks back then. I started reading the book, and I got to that part. And I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, it's the right book. What am I reading?
That's not right.
I'm still waiting for someone to have a go at adapting Raymond E. Feist's Magician series. I don't read narratives. I have no fiction. I don't know. Lord of the Rings. Read chapter 1, then saw the first film. Read the whole trilogy in 6 months. It's what actually got me hooked on reading it. Used to hate reading before that. Yeah, it's the only books I've ever got through that are narrative that aren't 40k.
I tried to go back to C.S. Lewis and read The Magician's Nephew, but I can't get through it.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't know how I got through Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I can't of the. It must be the style of writing, and because I'm older now, it just doesn't appeal to me.
So this is one of the reasons why I know I love Warhammer Lore so much, because the only other narrative books, fiction books, I've ever been able to actually read. And nowadays it is all audiobooks, but back then it was read. The first 4 or 5 novels of the Horus Heresy, I read them page to page. Is Warhammer Lore.
The only audiobook that I'm weirdly addicted to, so 50% addicted to, 50% suitably terrifying myself every time I listen to a chapter, is the Ultra Processed People. Half of me is, why are you listening to this? You're going to go to your own kitchen and just see all the bad food in the kitchen. Why are you listening to this? And half of me is, wow, I didn't realise that's what the situation is at the minute. And that does answer questions. That's the only audiobook I've been able to listen to. I tried to do a TED Talk on a dog walk about a year ago. Too clever for me. Stresses me out. I'm trying to unwind on a dog walk.
TED Talk is kind of more of a podcast than an audiobook, but I guess it's similar.
5 words in, there was like a 10-syllable word. I can't listen to it. It's too clever.
But like I said, this is how I absolutely know I love the 40k narrative so much, because I've read so many of the novels. And even to this day, although I don't read the novels now, to this day, I can put an audiobook on and be lost in it. And I have a very short attention span.
Do you ever listen to Lord of the Rings or 40k and it's just too wordy, and you end up thinking there was a more simpler, beautiful way to say that?
I don't know about too wordy. There is definitely a couple of 40k books I've struggled with. So on the whole, 40k audiobooks fine. There's a couple of 40k books I've struggled with, and I actually often wonder if it's more the narrator than the author particularly.
Right. Okay.
So there was Fulgrim, which is one of the, I think it's book 5 or book 6 in the Heresy series, right? I don't know who the narrator's name for Fulgrim on Audible, but I fucking struggle to listen to him, and it might just be his tone of voice or his inflections or however but the other part of it was the author had used the word perfection about 85 billion times,
and
it just starts to.
You have like a mental drinking game.
Yeah. You have a drinking
6.
game whilst driving.
7.
Never mind. Got home completely pissed. But that wasn't because it was wordy. That was just because that kind of repetition irritated me. Yeah. And then the repetition of that word with the way the guy was pronouncing it irritated, and I was like, I can't. So I've actually never got through Fulgrim. I've only ever got halfway through.
Do you like an audiobook that's read by an unknown person or read by a celebrity that you already know of?
There's a few narrators for 40k audiobooks. When you open the audiobook and you see the person's name, you're like, cool. Jonathan Keeble, Toby Longworth, people like that.
That's an English name, isn't it? Toby Longworth.
Toby Longworth. Sounds like he could have come out of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Those kinds of people, I'm like, it's going to be a good book. This is going to be all right. I'll be able to listen through this. They just do a good job. There's a couple whose name, I think Jonathan Banks is another one who's a good one. There's a couple that I look at them and I'm like, it's going to be hit or miss. So there's one guy who I think is the same guy who narrated Fulgrim, who I couldn't listen to it, but he narrated another book and I actually did get through it. It was a bit more of a struggle than normal, but I got through it. But that again reaffirms my love of 40k narrative. Like, he was not the easiest to listen to, but I managed to get through the whole book because I was kind of, and I've never been so ensconced and obsessed with the narrative and the lore like I am with 40k. And I'm not your typical lore buff. I don't know everything about everything. I couldn't now tell you about how all the solar system's laid out. I don't give a fuck. I'm not a person who's gonna, I'm not Joe who will go, well, actually, at this point in time, this character did this thing to this person on this spaceship. You're like, you fucking nerd. I can't do that. But what I can do when I'm in an audiobook or I'm reading a book, because I'm actually in it, I get really hooked in, and I get excited, and you get sad, and you get kind of, you feel there's a couple of great book series, like Ciaphas Cain. There's a flip with this one. Ciaphas Cain is a series about a human, essentially, who's a commissar, right? Yeah. And it's amazing. He gets himself in all kind of dangerous positions. Now, the thing is, with Ciaphas Cain, is he's narrating his memoir, so you know he lives already. That's kind of part of the book. Yeah. Which you would think takes away some of the risk and danger about the situation that he's in, but somehow you get quite excited and tense anyway. And that's because what the author does is he manages to get you kind of passionate about other characters who aren't him, who might die. Because they're not the ones writing the memoirs. Right. So I love that kind of stuff.
I have because audiobooks are quite new to me. So I have this weird kind of like meeting a person all over again, but through audiobooks. So, do you remember Paris Hilton?
I've never met her.
Do you remember her from like MTV days?
Yeah, I remember.
Do you remember her high-pitched voice?
Yeah.
Her natural voice is in a lower register.
Much lower, yeah.
And then when I hear anything with her natural voice on, it's like meeting her all over again. And because I already have this predisposed idea of her because of the her MTV show, then when I listen to her real voice, I'm not actually listening to her. I'm too busy trying to rewire my brain of, it's weird, no, that's the old Paris Hilton. Although that was a business move for her, this is the version she's putting out there now. Same with Britney Spears. Britney Spears' talking voice is much lower register.
This isn't quite the same, but I'm having a similar issue at the moment. So I'm currently re-going through Lord of the Rings in audiobook because I wanted to take a break from 40k narrative for a while. Yeah. And I wanted to go back to high fantasy. And when they announced Old World and that stuff started coming out, I was like, I want to be back in the old fantasy world. Fuck it, I'm going to go to what I know. It's been a long time since I've read them. I'm going to go back to what I loved. I'm going to go back to Lord of the Rings. And I originally started the original audiobooks that I listened to a few years ago, and I was really struggling with them. And Kyle, who you guys know have been producing, was like, there's new versions that have been narrated by Andy Serkis. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay. So I went on Audible, found them. I was like, mega. Downloaded the first one with Andy Serkis. And Andy Serkis is the guy who plays Gollum in the Lord of the Rings films.
Oh.
So he plays Gollum, right? So he plays Gollum, and he's now narrating the books. So when he's narrating the books, we haven't come across Gollum yet, but when he's narrating the books, where I am, he's doing the voice. He's doing Frodo's voice, and he's doing Gandalf's voice, and he's doing all these voices. What I'm struggling for some of them, he's doing a great job. But what I'm struggling with some of them, he's talking in a so he's being a character, and I can kind of hear Gollum. But he's not Gollum at that point. That's where I'm struggling. And then your
mind is like,
because I have to train and be like, no, the voice he's doing now isn't Gollum. The voice he's doing now is whichever character he's talking about.
I'm waiting to have this exact same dilemma if Family Guy ever do an audio book, and it's between Brian and Seth. So I'm like, which one is it? Is it the narrator or is it Brian?
Yeah, I love it. If I'm listening to radio, I love 5 Live, Radio 4, or a podcast. Wife can't stand chat, so it's music or nothing. That's my comfort listen. What's your comfort listen? Best audiobook narrator combo ever. Stephen Fry reading Harry Potter. Fight me. Gollum is done brilliantly. But his audio, like if you are an audiobook person and you've read Lord of the Rings in the past and you want to give them a go, the one how far through? I'm through Fellowship of the Ring, and I've just finished the Council of Elrond. I think they've just set off from Rivendell. Where's Audible? And the ones narrated by Serkis are absolutely incredible. I can't put them on because I'll probably get copyright strike. I've only got 8 hours and 80, so I'm that far through, Lucy. That little orange bar there, chap? I'm that far through, the book. Little bar there?
No, I don't have my glasses on.
Little orange bar?
Oh, yeah.
I'm that far through, which is what, 3/4?
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 hours and 18 minutes left.
That's insane. That is insane.
Fucking mad. It's so long.
Do you remember when music songs were music songs? Do you remember when music songs
Oh yeah.
was about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes? And then all of a sudden we have like the 5-minuters. Bohemian Rhapsody. You could have a whole coffee break in that song. I reckon there should be a rule on audiobooks. No more than 10 hours.
I love it. I love it. Have you listened to the Song and Ice and Fire books? So much better than the show, and the narrator is great. No, I haven't. No, absolutely not. The whole book is very nice. At the Council of Elrond, it's implied that Sauron could take over Tom's little domain if he really wanted to, which to me says he's not. Was it implied? Like, maybe. I think the books are incredible. It's one of those things, chat. For the longest time, I've been trying to get loose into.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
It's not happening. It's not my cup of tea, love. I can't sit through it. It's too long and it's too clever, and I can't do it.
Well, look at that. There you go. So come on, chat. There's 160 of you in chat right now. It's a quiet night tonight, probably because everyone's out sexing and
Banging.
shit. Yeah. Disgusting habit.
I did tell Liam about a great license plate I saw on Facebook earlier.
Yeah.
Somebody sent a picture of a car, and they said, as if my boyfriend wants me to buy him a car for Valentine's Day. And the license plate read, BJ69 KFC.
Perfect Valentine's Day.
It's a great night in.
Yeah, perfect Valentine's Day. But yeah, so tell me the things you love about your hobby or Warhammer in general, right? I've got a bit carried away Lord of the Rings there, but you can tell me anything. Gollum trying to fool everyone into thinking he's not Gollum. Sneaky Schmeagle. You think that long, you should try the Wheel of a Time series by Robert Jordan. Incredible series, and a shame Amazon have ruined it in their adaptation. People aren't happy about that series on Amazon, are they? Interesting. Not made carried him the substance of creation. Yeah, okay. Big Bad Pete Gamer, thank you for 10 gifted. The chat woke up.
Well, you know, I think it's like 4 minutes and then done. So
yeah. Yeah, so hopefully, if you've all started date night at like 9 o'clock, people should start turning up soon.
That's it now. They've had 4 minutes plus post cup of tea.
They've had the time to do the deed. They've had the cup of tea. They've been able to wipe it on the curtain, and now
wipe it on the curtain. No.
Yeah.
Grab a quick shower, chat. Go and grab a quick shower. We'll see you back in 5.
Wipe it on the curtain.
Don't
Thank
wipe
you,
it on the curtain.
Big Bad Pig Game of the 10 gifted, getting us up to 35 hobby lovers. There's not many hobby lovers tonight, apparently. I thought Bumbledore could snap away all the problems. Baby woke up, gotta go. Don't solve world hunger while I'm away. I'll wait for you, Chris. I'll wait for you. Went and got the wife some of the Lego flowers, and she always complains I don't get her flowers, and I don't because I don't like the idea of killing a flower just to give it to someone. So Lego flowers. Those Lego flowers are cool as fuck, by the way,
do you
as
know
well.
What, Paul? I agree. Whenever people get me flowers, I always think, oh, thank you so much, but I would have preferred a potted plant because then I can
kill it in the pot.
No, because then I can keep it going and plant it somewhere. But I do agree with him. Flowers are really beautiful, but you've chopped down.
How's the bathroom orchid?
Sleeping.
Sleeping.
It's sleeping.
It's sleeping. Okay, good.
But my orchid here is doing great.
Because it's like a week old.
But it's doing great.
He's doing great, yeah.
And I have daffodils and chives growing in the garden. Thank you very much.
Oh, do you?
And I have cauliflower growing on the windowsill. Thank you very much. And one very lonely onion. It's all going well.
So what I want from you right now, chat, is the biggest, colourfulest postcard you can give us about the things you love about Warhammer or your wider hobby if you want to pick something different. I'm okay with that as well.
Okay. We'll allow it.
We'll allow it, yeah. We'll allow the wider hobby. That's what I want. My main objection to Bombadil being Eru is that putting God in the world doesn't seem like something Tolkien would do, but I can see how people could make the argument. Getting into the technicals of Lord of the Rings there. Recently listened to the first book in the Fabius Bile series. I quite like it. That's cool. I haven't heard that one. I am trying. What I need to do, because I've actually, shocking this from me, by the way, team. I've never actually got through the book in its entirety. I actually need to go back and listen to Betrayer properly, because I haven't actually got through it. I really, really want is a 40k World Eaters Audible series of something, but I need to go back and do Betrayer. I know I'm all about potted plants. So the problem I have with Betrayer, by the way, sorry, Paul, I'll get back to your comment, is I really hate the way the narrator, this is what, going back to my previous point, I hate the way the narrator's done Angron's voice.
Why?
Because it's just gargly, and it's supposed to be raw and gargly, but it's just not a nice listen. It's kind of harsh on the ears.
Does it sound like he smokes 40 a day?
A little bit, yeah. It's just really like. Have any of you listened to Betray? If you listen to Betray and you've listened to him narrate Angron's voice, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's really hard to listen to, in my opinion, anyway. Where are we? I'm all about potted plants. Wife thought the Lego flowers were great. She had a good laugh about it because she knows why I don't get her flowers. And the Lego ones are cool. The Lego ones look really good.
They've got different kinds now. They've got roses now.
I'm listening to Betrayer currently. Is really good so far. The book itself is kind of cool. I just get annoyed by his voice. I get annoyed by Joe's voice, you know.
What's the worst book you've ever read?
Wow, that's an interesting one. I don't think I could classify that I've read a book that's bad because I won't. I'll just stop.
Okay, what's a book that has pleasantly surprised you?
I don't know.
You had to read a management one when you were on a course, and it was called Our Iceberg is Melting.
Our Iceberg is Melting was interesting.
And you were like pleasantly surprised
I
by
think I
that.
still have that.
Yeah, we do. It's in the lounge.
Is it? I think I still have that something, yeah.
I tried to read it and then just kept panicking about climate change, so I can't read it.
I think, if I'm honest, the Heresy series was one of those. When I first started Horus Rising, the very first book, I think I kind of expected not to give a shit because I was never really a Space Marine fan, right? My my favourite stuff had always been Xenos type stuff, aliens and stuff like that, because Space Marines for me were just kind of dull. And the other reason was my brother, excuse me, was a big Space Marine collector, so I didn't want to do the same as him. Hence Eldar and Tyranids and stuff like that.
No date night for me tonight. The thing I love about Warhammer is meeting new and interesting people. Bombardment.
Bombardment, thank you, Pete. Yeah, 100%. That is amazing. Thank you for the 5, man. You're a legend. So I didn't care about Space Marines, and then when I did start to care about Space Marines, what I cared about was Chaos Space Marines, which is real big, spiky, angry Space Marines, right? And that they existed after the Heresy. They didn't exist in the Heresy, okay? So I was fully expecting to just not like the Heresy at all, because it's all about Space Marines and more Space Marines, and that's it. And I was like, it's going to be a bit shit. But because it's such a kind of core, like fundamental part of the Warhammer universe and the Warhammer lore in general.
Farsight trilogy was epic. One chapter into the new Shadows and book, I had to put it down. Tough to read.
Oh, that's interesting. Thanks for the 5, David. Oh, you're here. And Boo, hang on, Boo Boo 2960? Is it Boo Boo? Would you say Boo Boo?
Yeah, I say Boo Boo.
Thank you for the gifted, you fucking legend. What a hero. Up to 36 people who love the hobby. So when I first read that book, that was one of those where I was like, I'm not going to enjoy it, but I'm going to give it a go. And I think, if I'm honest with you, chat, I think the reason why I read it is I think my mother bought it for me for Christmas.
Aww.
And I was like, she used to buy me a book it's how I started reading Lord of the Rings. She used to buy me a book every fucking year, without fail. And the first number of years, I just didn't read them. They weren't on my shelf. Thanks, great. You know, kids are
Homework,
ungrateful.
thanks.
Not a video game, not fucking interested. And then when she bought me the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit, that was the first time that I sat there reading them. I think she went, oh, I did it! I've got them into books. She didn't. I just liked Lord of the Rings. And it wasn't too long afterwards where she then bought me the first Horus Rising book by Dan Abnett. And I kind of was like, it is 40k relevant at least. I'll give it a go. And I was expecting to just not be interested. Yeah. And I couldn't put it down. And I just really enjoyed it. And I don't, you know me, I don't read either. And I loved it. So that's definitely one where I was like, expected it to be a bit dull for me personally. Yeah. Ended up really enjoying it.
I've sort of completely by accident with Jim Jam. He's got 2 books on the go. One of them is Ben's. One of them is his. His book is The Borrowers. I thought it's in the reading list for his age group. We'll just go through that. It's actually quite wordy. The names of the borrowers, like Arietti, words like that, because it looks like the female name Harriet. He keeps tripping over the words, then his confidence goes down. He actually really likes one of Ben's books, which is Funny Stories for 6-year-olds. Way too wordy for any 6-year-old I know. Yeah. But Like Attracts likes all the 6-year-olds I know.
Probably too wordy for Joe. To be fair.
all the 6-year-olds I know have a consideration, so probably none of them would pick it up anyway. But James is really loving it, and it's nicely challenging for him.
Because it connects me to my son, and gives me something to focus on that's not the real world. Best of all, it changes so much, there's always something new to complain about.
I mean, it's true. That first part's lovely, though, because it connects him to his son.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I've tried to get my kids into the game. Well, my eldest, my youngest, I wouldn't let him anywhere near a scalpel. But
I think we're getting there because he's getting back into chess, and we play battleships, and he's very strategic. So I think we're getting there.
Maybe. I don't want to push it, though. Like, I don't want to force it.
Yeah.
It's pointless forcing it, but yeah. Also, by the way, chat, just to let you know, this fun fact, I've been told this and I've never believed it before.
I love the fact that when I paint I forget all about work stress.
Escapism is huge, right? So this is a fun fact. And I've been told this, and I've been watching this recently secretly. This is an awkward thing to talk about, but when the super chats and memberships stop, the live viewers drop.
Yeah.
If you watch it, when they come back through, the live, so we were sat like 140, 150, if that.
Yeah.
People have started gifting and super chatting, 185.
Yeah.
I thought it was bollocks. I was like, that's bullshit. It doesn't happen.
Well,
I've been watching it for the last 2 weeks. It actually happens.
Can't even have a private conversation because
Yeah.
a friend of mine has sadly had to put one of the family pets to sleep today, so really sad. And now all of a sudden, all of my Facebook reels are throwing up videos about guinea pigs. I don't have a guinea pig.
No.
But you can't even have a private conversation in Messenger anymore.
Thank you, Stephen, for the 5, by the way. Angron, thank you for the 22. Escapism is why so many of us do any hobby.
Yeah.
So whether I'm out riding my motorbike, whether I'm in there cleaning it, whether I'm sat here building, and do you know what? Honestly, the Twitch stream stuff where I sit here building, I'm still talking to you. I'm still talking to chat. But you know what? I'm genuinely sat here in my own little world. And I've looked up before and gone, fuck, I've done 2.5 hours on Twitch. Where's that gone? Just sat here building stuff. Like, it's 100% it's escapism. And I think whether you're sat there with your knitting needle out, watching some TV on your laptop, whether you're strumming away. I got my guitar out for the first time ever, like last week.
Yeah.
And I was sat here doing some practicing in my own little world. Again, lost another hour, I reckon.
I'm as part of my, I guess it's a hobby. I'm rewatching Frasier. I don't know how us Brits say it, but because I'm quite interested in like psychology and stuff, and your neuropathy, and if you want to break a character trait that you don't like about yourself, how you have to reset your neuropathy, blah 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 blah. I now get most of the jokes. They used to go straight over my head when I watched it in college, and now I get it, and I find myself giggling the whole time.
I hate it. Drop Dead Dave.
You do.
Drop Dead Dave, thank you for the 10 gifts. You're amazing.
I love the symbiosis between netting and collecting. It has Khaled for 40k and also historicals. And they drive me to find out stuff about the minis I'm working on.
Amazing. Thank you for the 50, Adrian. I think it was supposed to say between reading and collecting. This is I don't want to turn this into a rant, right? This is not where I'm going to go with this, but this is part of the problem I have with the current edition, if I'm honest with you, right? Now, I'm not going to go into a rant. I'm not going to turn this into a negative whinge, but Joe and I have had this conversation quite a lot. So he's been trying to make Flesh Terrors work. And to make Flesh Terrors work, he's trying to put captains into multiple units, right? In the size of battle that you would have 40k on the tabletop, you wouldn't have 3 captains on the table. You wouldn't. You wouldn't have 3 captains on foot, 3 captains in jump packs, for example. You just wouldn't have it. I'm with you, Adrian, 100%. If I read something, I kind of want to be able to replicate it on the tabletop and kind of have it, like, they make sense. This is the narrative of how it works, and I've now taken that narrative and I've made a cohesive force on the tabletop that fits the narrative, right? It's lore accurate.
Okay.
Okay, that's something I like to do. The current edition doesn't require you to do that, doesn't force you to do that, and absolutely lets you abuse it and do the complete opposite. And arguably pushes you in that direction as well. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of it currently. It's also like a Khorne Berserker narrative, and we've talked about the disconnect between narrative and rules. We've talked about the disconnect. We've talked about the fact that you can't make the rules 100% match the narrative because the game wouldn't make any sense. Because it wouldn't make any sense. So there is going to always be that disconnect there. But a Khorne Berserker in the narrative is terrifying, especially if he gets anywhere near you. Yet on the tabletop at the moment, it's like he's running at you with a soggy pillow. And that's what he's going to hit you with. Do you know what I mean? Kind of wait the terrain you're using for Laser Architect design tomorrow. Yeah, we are doing a sponsored episode from him tomorrow. Up to nearly 190 people. It's working. They're listening to me. Thank you, by the way, drop the day for the 10 gifts. I think I've already said thank you, but you're a huge hero. Thank you so much. That's amazing. We have 45 hobby lovers. Just 45.
Beth is having a great Valentine's Day.
Is she?
Hey up, my duck. Happy Valentine's Day. I got flowers and chocolates. The flowers are made out of Lego and the chocolates are a packet of crispy M&Ms.
I mean, that both sounds amazing.
I had a thing for the peanut M&Ms in college.
And you get to watch the show, so you also get a good-looking guy. That you could have agreed sooner. Thanks, babe. Wow. I really like all things combat. My flesh tearers blow chunks right now, so I'm kind of giving up on it a little bit. I'm a melee person, Kai. I think most people are secretly melee people, and melee currently is fucking horse shit.
I love how painting is super zen for me. My wife always teases me because apparently my breathing gets super deep and rhythmic while I paint.
You hold your breath when
I
you
was
paint.
about to say, that's not me. That's not me. That's I don't do the super like rhythmic. I literally hold my breath.
I'm going to call it paint apnea.
The reason the narrative... Joe's in chat. Everyone say hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
The reason the army narrative is broken on the table now is because characters join units. In 1980, you only needed one character. 100% Joe. Mate, I agree with you. It's the addition that's the problem. It's not us. It's the addition. But it kind of encourages you, absolutely encourages you to go down that route of multiple characters of the same type in one single army just to make certain units work, which I don't like. Vote money looks dog shit, maybe. It's a nice aspect of the hobby system. What is? I really like things combat. Oh, we've read that one already. Anyway, thank you, Joe, for the 5 as well. You absolutely. Can you just short? It's not. It's hard. I have to read that out like that every time. Otherwise, I feel like I'm not reading it right. I don't know. Like, thank you, Joe. And how long do you hold it for?
As long as you can.
I feel like my assault is run to combat if they make it swing in a butter knife. I mean, yeah. Everyone's saying hi, Joe. Hi, Joe. I made my guard narrative. 1 platoon command squad with a platoon's worth of infantry and roughly a right amount of support weapons from a company-sized unit. That's cool, though, John. I love that. You're my hero. I feel like they're trying to be the MCU too much. Who is? Joko. Who is? Joko? 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 How would you say that?
Jocko?
Joko. Okay, good. Good. Everyone just say hi to Joe. Ignore me. Just ignore me, chat. It's fine. Just talk to Joe.
What would be your perfect Valentine's Day?
I can't say it in front of people.
Aww.
I can't say it in front of people. Would be fair.
I think Valentine's is way too hyped up. I think people feel an awful pressure for it.
I think a lot of public holiday type things are like that now, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm quite as a Valentine's evening. I'm quite happy sat here with you because I'm with you.
Yeah.
Companies, like we said this around Christmas, time is the most important. Company is important to me.
My friend had a sweet moment today.
Yeah.
Her son said, I want to get something for someone special because it's Valentine's Day. So I think she gave him like a $5 and then said, meet me at the checkout. When you're done, I'll wait on a bench. And he bought his mum a single rose.
Aww.
That's really sweet, isn't it?
That's nice,
Not
yeah.
prompted or anything. Because she messaged me and she was like, I was wondering who he was buying something for because he's with me all the time. Who has he met? But it was for her. How sweet's that?
Just Jupiter, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. You're a legend. That is sweet. Yeah, we're up to 50. We're not even a third. I might have overreached here. February is... I was like, January's a shit month. February's a fucking shit month. Really like the sheer amount of variety in 40k after experimenting with some units from different factions. I'm finally starting my homebrew successor chapter, and I'm stoked to get off the ground. Sounds amazing, Lord Commander Joe. I'm glad. Caskkin and Scions are about a platoon each. Puts me at about 150 infantry. Sounds fucking cool. John, I like it. Just bought some Hounds of Morkai. Looking forward to building and painting them. No idea how to play them yet. Who cares? As long as you're looking forward to it, that's all that cares. My wife and I ignore corporate love day. But that's what it is now, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not after brownie points. I tell Luce I love her every single day. I don't need a day to do that.
No.
So, all joking aside, I tell her that every day anyway. I February is terrifyingly shit at the moment for the channel, so I didn't want to miss a stream. But I feel like if we don't do something special today, we could do something special Saturday evening.
Yeah.
And it would be just as important.
I think for me, it doesn't take much for the anxiety to build up of like, oh my God, what is he expecting? Are we going out for dinner somewhere? Are we not? Am I wearing jeans? Am I not? Is someone coming around to babysit? There's too much for me where I like to know what the plan is, and it needs to be on the calendar for a little while so I can see it and get used to it. Oh my God, if you were to surprise me with a Valentine's Day thing, I wouldn't get out the house. I'd dissolve into a crying mess on the stairs because you have sprung this lovely idea on me.
But it's
a living hell.
But people seem to have it in their mind that the way to express love and gratitude... This is considering how much I talk about postcards and gifted membership chat, right? Ignore what I'm about to say. Ignore me. People seem to have it in their mind that the way to express love and gratitude is by how much money you spend. Not true for Valentine's Day. Definitely true for the channel. Not true for Valentine's Day. Not true for Christmas. Not true for birthdays. It's not though, is it?
No.
Like I have been in a position in the past, years ago, where you can have two gifts, one 10 times the value of the other, but the other has 10 times the thought.
Yeah.
And I know which one I typically have treasured more out of the two, right? Not true for super chats, gifts and memberships. Okay. The higher the number, just the better there.
Well,
ultimately.
My friend and her son, he's super quiet. Super quiet. So that would have taken some inspiration for him to walk around the shop by himself for a little bit.
Yeah.
Go and find the flower, pay for it, and then be brave enough to give it to his mum.
Yeah.
Like, what a huge thing.
It's lovely though. It's really nice.
It's incredible. I was like, oh my God, that's adorable.
Yeah.
Knowing how much he would have built that up in his mind for him to follow that through. That's incredible.
But you know that's taken him a significant amount of effort and courage. So the thought that's gone into that is really high.
Yeah.
You know. Valentine's Day is about taking Dorothy Mantooth out for a nice seafood dinner and never calling her again. Who?
Well, if it's a lovely dinner, then it's not a wasted meal, is it?
John says Mrs. De Silva is 8 months pregnant. So today has been me running around doing all the things for her. Thankfully, her cravings of red meat and chili cheese winning. That's a great craving.
Ooh, chili cheese. I accidentally made nacho cheese the other day.
Not your cheese.
No, it was great. I didn't write it down how I did it either, so I can't remember.
Amazing. Gift to self for Valentine's Day, a whirlwind, and the Hounds of Morkai sounds amazing. I hate receiving gifts in general, so my favourite gift is none. Apart from gifted memberships. They're the gift that keep on giving. There's 108. You know what I'm going to say right now, chat, right? There's 169 total. There's 119 to go. There's 187 in chat. It says right now. It's been going up to 198 when the super chats are coming in. We nearly hit 200. It's back down to 187. So if all of you gift 10...
Sharrowkin, I agree with you. I can't put it into words why I hate receiving gifts, but the second Christmas is on the calendar, the anxiety bubbles away. I can't put it into words why I hate receiving gifts.
Lord Commander Joe, I didn't realise that was an Anchorman quote. Is that an Anchorman quote? I like that film. That's a film I've seen, so don't feel silly. You're amazing.
Too.
I don't like gifts. I don't like gifts.
But
so I know why I don't like gifts.
Okay.
I don't like the social pressure stroke expectation of having to be grateful for something that you may have never said you wanted, never insinuated you wanted, never asked for, never don't have a need for, don't have the space for, etc., etc., etc. And yet you've got to go, thank you so much, you're so kind. You're not kind, you've inconvenienced me now.
Yes,
and you've wasted your money.
It's that last bit that makes you go, dick. even though you didn't ask for it, all of that, and it's, I hate it. I hate it. And trying to explain it to my dad, because my dad, bless him, every Christmas, what can we get you and Liam? Nothing.
Yeah, I don't
get us anything.
He
can't not do it.
But it costs him. Let's say it costs him a tank of fuel to come here and back from Coventry, right? So that's his tank's like 60-70 quid in fuel. So say 60 quid, right? So if he drives down here, 60 quid, right? If we go for a meal somewhere and we split the bill, another 60 quid, okay, ish, roughly, right? So because that's two adults, a main course, possibly a dessert, a drink or two, 60 quid for the two of them, 30 quid each is reasonable there, right?
Is in this scenario, are you explaining to my stepmom why there are no conversations at the table?
I decided to surprise my wife with making us dinner while she was putting the twins to sleep. Managed to finish dinner just as you started streaming.
Priorities, Adrian. And hello,
That's
Mrs. Adrian.
lovely.
You're lovely. You're lovely that you let him watch and spend so much. Jill, thank you for the gifted, by the way. Stephen, thank you for the gifted. Pete, thank you for the 5. You all got it wrong. I said 10. We're nearly at 59. Fuck me. You got it wrong though, all of you. But thank you so much, Adrian. You're a hero. I'm not talking about like the grandchildren not being there. I'm saying if he only paid for his side of the bill.
Oh, okay.
We're talking 60 quid, right?
Okay, yeah.
So we're talking over £100 for the fuel and the food.
Yeah.
He will, because it's a 2.5 hour journey, he's going to have to do 5 hours of travelling to come here, as well as spend over 100 quid for a meal and fuel.
Yeah.
That is all worth more than any materialistic thing he can ever buy.
Well, I'm tagging you in this Christmas because we're on year 13 now. I've tried telling him 13 years not to worry about it. So tagging you in now. You can do the next 13.
I feel like they've got pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like a bottle of port or mead, maybe a bottle of Baileys. There you go. That's it. And we're just going to buy the kids' bits. Like, they've got pretty good, to be fair. I think we're in a good place on the whole. Because the other thing as well is when it's like a bottle of Baileys, like Luce and I, Baileys whores. So when it's a bottle of Baileys, it's like, that's thoughtful enough because you know we drink here. And it's going to get used.
He's genuinely uncomfortable. You can see him like hiding a grimace behind his smile of, I got you this. That's great, Dad. Just stop it right there. No more.
I'll neck it in front of you.
Yeah.
Before I drive home. Stu, thank you for the 1. I think I got you. Stephen, thank you for the 1. Jill, thank you for the 1. I think I got all of you people. Pete, you're a legend for 5. Nobody listened and did 10 Luce. Don't do it. Gifts for adults are shite. I'm a goddamn grown up. If I want something, I will buy it. I won't wait 5 months until the day I was evicted from the womb to ask for it. Crayons aren't that expensive. Boozy gifts are the best if it's something that you drink. I have been gifted boozy drinks. Here's the thing, right? This is where my mind goes. I've been gifted boozy drinks that I don't drink, and I've tasted them and I don't like them, and I've continued to drink it because I feel like I have to because it was a gift.
Yeah.
That's why I hate gifts, because that's my social awkwardness. So I'm like, now I have to use it, drink it, whatever it is. I have to because you've got it for me, and I feel like an ungrateful fuck.
Yeah.
Although in my mind I'm saying, don't waste your money, I never actually say that out loud.
I've gotten to a place with Dad where he'll mention a really obscure thing, like hot dogs. You can get tiny cans of hot dogs, or the big jars of hot dogs.
Yeah.
He was after a big jar. I can't remember what for, but I had one in the recycling box. Picked out the recycling box, put it in the dishwasher, gave it to him, and I felt like that could be Christmas. I have found the obscure thing you mentioned for 5 seconds, and I have given it to you in perfect condition. Best child ever. I have done it. And it's not wasted. He didn't really even know he asked for it, but I have produced it.
Oh my God. A gift you, that was a hot dog jar.
He was so happy.
Nordos, thank you for the gifted. You're a legend. What a hero. Up to 59. Kai, good point. If you want someone to give me, if you want someone to give me a gift, give me a good prepared steak or something very tasty. So spoilers loose. What I'm going to do this Saturday, I only cook one night a week because Luce's day off is Wednesday, so I sort food out for Wednesdays. And when I say cook, normally ding dong doorbell goes because I can't. Or I go to Morrison's, and Wednesday is what's dinner on Wednesdays?
Pie and chips. Spaghetti.
I go to Morrison's, which is just over the road. I buy a tin of spaghetti, a bag of oven chips, and a box of Morrison's steak and gravy pies, and they all just go in the oven for half an hour, and then the spaghetti goes on. Ta-da! Here's dinner, right? On Saturday, what I'm going to try and do, because we're not doing Valentine's night tonight, is I'm going to try and make a nice meal, basically, of some sort. And I've done this before. It won't be Like, don't expect the world here. It's going to be like steak or something.
I'm expecting to not have to set foot in that kitchen, so that would be
That's
amazing.
fine, but it'll be like a steak or something. It won't be like platted fucking. I don't know. Like what? Luce makes homemade pasta and pies and cakes and brownies and fucking all kinds of shit. There's a reason why nowadays I wobble when I walk.
That's. It's my very long drawn out plan so that no other woman will steal you from me.
Dave says, so Weatherspoon's chef limb. I mean, it's not even, Dave, honestly, it's not even that skillful. JK, thank you for the 5 gifted. Jill, thank you for the 10. You've already given 5 that one, Jill. Stop it. You're fine. Johan, thank you for the 10. 2 people with 10 gifted. You're amazing. It's happening. We're hip happening. I don't cook. I don't clean. I barely wash myself. I just make sure there's enough money for our world to keep spinning. That's me.
I barely wash myself.
Like Luce said to me the other day about something like sneaking off or something, didn't you? I can't remember what you worded, and I was like, I know you were gone. She's like, yeah, you won't notice I was like, I know you're gone in 2 days when I run out of pants. That's how I know. When I open my drawer, I'm like, hang on, what? There's fucking nothing in here.
What is this witchcraft?
Yeah,
Where have all my
nothing in
pants
it.
gone?
What's going on here? Yeah, and then I'll be in the kids' bedroom trying to put an age 9 on. So thank you, for the 10 gifted. That's incredible. Amazing donations for the channel, people. I can't say thank you enough. If you got gifted by Jill or Johan or anyone else for that matter so far, make sure you say thank you. Make sure you exclamation mark Discord. Make sure you come and join the Great Hall server. Make sure you hang out and give it a test, because I swear you'll love it. And we need to do more with Discord, actually.
Dave B used to do chats on a Saturday night, which were really, really good.
Yeah, but he's not paid. I'm not gonna like. We should do something.
No,
with
I know, but just to say that people go in there and chat, and it's really good.
We should do something. Else.
My brother asked what I wanted for Crimbo. I said Space Marine Terminators. I got socks. When I asked, he replied, have you seen the fucking price?
Right. Thank you, Stu, for the 5, by the way. I am, like, literally, I am a full-blown fucking autist when it comes to things like socks, right?
Yeah.
If you open my underwear, I've got 2 underwear drawers next to each other. In my little peek behind the curtain to Liam's life, right? I've got 2 underwear drawers in my set of drawers in my bedroom, our bedroom. The left one is underwear. The right one is socks. That's my 2 underwear drawers, right? If you open them, you will notice that everything is exactly the same.
Yeah.
All the boxes are exactly the same brand, exactly the same style, exactly the same color. If you open the socks, the same detail, exactly the same brand. I've got 2 types of socks: trainer socks, which are the same brand, same color, same style, and then I've got normal socks, same brand, same color, same style. And that never changes. That's always the same. So I would note, but what happens is they go into a basket and they magically arrive back in those drawers nice and clean.
You've got the coffee table.
I have the magical coffee table. Yeah.
Yeah.
The magic of Fat Fox is the magic of the self-cleaning table. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I have. 100%. I would fail. I would struggle and fail to function without my good wife behind me. That's just a fact.
Stu says, make her menu A or menu B from Rat Packs, a meal for a queen.
With the sticky toffee pudding dessert, specifically. Whitey55, by the way, thank you for the 5 gifted. You're amazing.
I would actually love that. To have... Ta-da! Now we're going to go and sit in a ditch where it's been raining for 3 days to have the real, like, immersive situation. Somebody shouting at you from a distance, and you're not allowed a toilet break. Yeah. And if you need the toilet, here's a little digging tool, and you need to hang off that small cliff over there if you can't dig it. Great. Great night.
Yeah. I probably hung off something like that before. Kai, by the way, I let her read it out, but fuck me. If that's,
Stop it, Kai.
When he says best you can do, that means it's too much. All right? But thank you, man. What a legend. Who's going to beat Kai?
No one. January is the 6-week pay month, so we're all crying quietly in the shower. February is the account recovery month because January stings so much. So March is when we all start to...
Well, February's horrendous at the moment because I had 2 days off sick, which is 3 streams. And when the average stream revenue, when we miss 3 streams, it's fucking horrible, quite frankly. But I'm also conscious that the month is shorter. So we're on the 14th. We're already halfway through the month. This is only 28. Oh, it's 29 this year, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, your dad gets a birthday this
My
year.
dad gets a birthday this year because he was born on a leper year.
Best I can do. ATM hopefully reduces the February
You
sting.
are insane and you're amazing, Kai. Thank you so much. You're a legend and I love you. What an absolute hero. Who wants to match Kai? Come on, people. I'm joking. Lucy's described the last few years of my marriage.
Oh, what did I say? What, sitting in a ditch where it's been raining for 3 days and hanging off a small cliff if you need a poo? That doesn't sound very nice, Stu.
It's an autistic thing. Socks like our kryptonite. Yeah. Honestly, socks. Honestly, I don't think I've had 2 pairs of socks the same for years. I have to have the same socks. When they stop selling them, I'll be devastated for a while and I'll have to find a new pair and then replace them all.
Oh,
They have to feel the same all the time.
we shall prepare
Feet,
ourselves for
like,
that day.
I also cannot stand anyone ever touching my feet. Lucy would tell you, I fucking hate it. I hate it. You hear that evil fucking laugh, chat? I hate it.
Which is a real shame, because if you have a really annoying cough and you want to go to sleep, if you put some Vicks Vapor Rub on the soles of your feet, you don't cough all night and you actually get to sleep. So while you're hacking away, keeping the rest of us up, just put some Vicks on your feet. And no one will be mad at you in the morning.
I can't.
But instead, we all must suffer.
I'll put it on my own feet, but I can't have you touch them. People have feet fetishes. Ugh. Anyway. Why are you putting rats in packs? Let them run free. Well, they're not. You know, they've got. If they're in a pack, they're friends, right? They've got friends. Here, man. God bless the world's women, the wonderful women that put up with all the shit. My wife truly is my rock. I'm a total fuckwig, and she just puts up with me. I mean, yeah. I often think I am an utter burden. So I do what I think it was Kai said earlier. I just make sure that there's enough money in the house to run it, and then Lucy can carry on running it. That's all I do. As an army medic, had to touch a lot of feet. Oh God, no.
Oh wow, you're an army medic. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably saw some awful stuff.
Was an army medic. He's retired now.
Only people excited for rat packs have never had rat packs.
Facts.
This is why I want to try them.
Do you know what though? Honestly, there's some of them I'll be like, got a good one.
I want to taste this hot chocolate that you've been banging on about. Rat pack hot chocolate.
I don't know if it will still be the same. It changed. In the time I was on, a lot of it changed from what you got. What I got in basic compared to what I got, you know, halfway through compared to what I got at the end. So, Vicks is the devil's spawn. It's slimy, isn't it?
When it's 2 a.m. and there's already been coughing for about 4 hours, I'll put anything on the feet. So Vicks going on, and I learned. So
I've read this article.
I learned about it on one of my night shifts in a care home, because one of my colleagues had a really chesty cough. I don't know why she was in work, but anyway, and she put Vicks on the sole of her feet during her shift. And although she didn't completely stop coughing, because you need to be asleep for it to work, some weird witchcraft goes on there, she did stop coughing. And then she said to me, when she goes to bed, when she gets home, she'll put some more on and she'll sleep. And she'll actually get some sleep.
Interesting. I don't know. I'm just an Bulbasaur person.
Plus a jigsaw under the mattress, so you're propped up a little bit.
Yeah.
That helps.
If you get a cough, a little Vicks on the sole of your feet. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Good night, folks. Recovering from the space age. It's bloody horrible. Oh, Kai, it's been awful. I hope you're feeling better soon, mate. You are a legend. Thank you so much for that incredible donation. Unbelievable donation. Thank you so much, man. You're a hero. The equivalent, in fact, to 20 gifted, which is more than we would need to hit 100. At least hit the normal target, right? Remember the chocolate made in 1952? Heard a rumour when Liam was in basic, Centurion was a rank and not a tank. You are a fucking arsehole. I don't think we're too dissimilar in age, John. And I haven't gone bold yet. But anyway, Kai, I hope you feel better soon, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I still have... Like, when I get up in the mornings, at the moment, Lucy, when I get up in the mornings at the moment, I'm still a bit shit. At the moment, like, it sits on me overnight. I wake up for, like, half an hour. I cough to a point where she's like, are you all right? And then I'm all right, and I'm fine. But it's still there. And I'm, like, we finished vagging today, and then I genuinely went up and slept for an hour and a half. And then, so I could do tonight, because I said to you, I was like, I'm fucked. I'm absolutely exhausted. I need to go up and sleep for an hour and a half. Look at my eyes. Look at the colour of them. This isn't eye. Like, I haven't put shade on. What's it called?
Eyeshadow.
I haven't put that on.
Eye shade.
Eye shade. Yeah. I haven't Nolan Doyle myself. Someone's clipping that with that action. Definitely. Yes, thank you for the 5 gifted. You absolute fucking hero. That means there's 7 to hit the target, chat. 7 and 169 people watching right now. Once did a 6-week exercise, and all I had was chicken supreme for the whole 6 weeks.
God.
That with biscuits AB, biscuits possessed, and hot chocolate poured into the oatmeal. The only good thing. I used to. Do you know what? You're all gonna fucking hate me for this. I used to love sausage and beans for breakfast. It was the best.
I'm questioning the
Slimy
sausage
sausages and beans in a fucking boiled bag at breakfast on a freezing cold fucking morning. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
the
questioning
best,
it.
honestly.
I would definitely be asking what is in that.
You've got to ! Snipe me, all one word, marching on podcast.
I think I would just say if I had the sausage and beans wrap pack and they couldn't tell me what was in it, I'd just ask for a carrot. Just give me a carrot. I know what's in there. I'll just have that.
Drop dead Dave, you can stop. You've already gifted 5. Marching on podcast, for fuck's sake. If you're going to ! Snipe me, you need to dodge the first 20 at least, right? You can't ! Snipe me and just take the first one that comes up.
Selfish.
You slut. Thank you so much, Drop Dead Dave, for the gifted 5. Exercise White Rhino 1989, the year that Luce was born.
Yep.
6 weeks, screw that. 6-week exercises. The longest we did was America, 3-month exercise.
Would you be chicken intolerant, having it every day for 6 weeks, nothing else?
I
That's the only meat you're having.
So. I don't know, maybe. I think you get sick of it, quite honestly. Whitey55, thank you for the 5 gifted. You didn't get Zarak. This is the game we're playing now, at least for the next 17 minutes, right? Possibly, maybe. We went over the 100. I'm happy
is
now.
that time already?
I'm happy now. I wanted the 169, but I'm happy now. Never asked what is in a gurkha curry, no. But they taste amazing.
Why? What is in a gurkha?
Like neighbours' cats and shit.
Oh, the missing cat.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I did have Kaiser there. I'm still getting over this shitty fucking cold as well. It's been awful, quite honestly.
You never seem to quite get over it.
I think it was a very, 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 very mild strain of the flu, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anyway, team, tomorrow we're back with the Liam and Joe show at 13:30, and then we have a live game of 40k, which is Joe and I again at 19:30.
Are you taking Emmy in with you again?
I wasn't planning to, but I can.
Yeah.
Jacob, thank you for the gifted. Did you want me to?
Yeah, because if you want a studio dog, you're not doing it just once and then that's it.
Well, no. So you're saying it's a possibility?
You need to feel the burn if you're going to get a studio dog.
Wait. This is live. People are watching this. I said to Luce ages ago I wanted to get a little puppy as a studio dog that I took to work with me frequently. And she said flat no. Repeatedly.
Yes,
Are you saying live on stream on Valentine's night that it's a possibility?
It's a possibility. But if you even think taking her into the studio for one day gets you off the hook that, yeah, just go and get another dog, then you are stupid.
Can it be any breed that I want?
No, because it'll be Muggin's ear that has to pick up after it because you'll be off in California or you'll be at LVO or you'll be down at Beachhead and that'll be the weekend that the dog throws up everywhere, so I have to clear it up. Who is the one that puts fingers up her bum when her anal glands need expressing?
All right, I know it's Valentine's night.
That would be me.
Mine needs expressing.
No, they don't. You have opposable thumbs, you can do yourself. Who is it that cries when she's really poorly because I can't stand her to be poorly? And who is the other one that goes to bed as though nothing's wrong?
So
that would be you.
But it doesn't have to be a border collie.
Yes, it does. Border collies are in a league of their own. Has to be a border.
But I am torn between a border or a German Shepherd.
Who is it that Googles all of these things about border collies because the behaviours when you fuck a border collie up come out? Because we've already experienced that with our other one. Who was that had to do the rabbit hole research on that and never quite got the fucking truth where that dog originally came from? That was me.
Could it be a German Shepherd?
No.
Why not?
Because they've got many, many health problems now because they've been bred over the last 100 years.
Jacob Ward, thank you for the gifted. Dang Skippy, thank you for the gifted. Johan Gustafsson, thank you for the 5 gifted. We are just 60 away. 6 10s, 12 5s, 61s, 150, 110. Come on. Come on. If we get a studio dog, you need to make sure there is permanent camera on them. I don't know how I wonder if I can get like a frame with an arm that comes out in front with a GoPro that points at the dog. Just switch the dog cameras that's wandering around the fucking studio.
No.
Peak content.
No.
But you're saying it's a possibility. Live on stream.
Then the very next time she gets poorly, then you're dealing with her.
I've cleaned plenty of it up.
Who was it the last time she was really poorly that had to line up all of her syringes, all of her tablets, and do a fucking mar chart for her because there was so many tablets? Was that you or was that me? That
Dim and
would be
Shepherd every
me.
time, says Demo Gorgon. Yeah, exactly. See? Exactly. That escalated quickly. I think as well, did you get got? You didn't, did you get bit? Did he got bit? I don't think he got bit. Zarak doesn't look like he got bit. Zarak, I saw his name somewhere. Zarak, no, he didn't get bit. Zarak is still a grey name. 40k Weatherman is still a grey name. Brian Garrett's still a grey name. Come on, people. There's grey names everywhere. There's plenty of people to snipe. Get your rifles out. Right. Dog cam would double as Joe cam. I'd subscribe for that content. Boris, you've already subscribed, you lunatic. Watching a doggo lick their own balls. Now that is television. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Great Dane. Big, majestic, lazy as fuck. I like Great Danes, actually. I'm a big fan of Great Danes.
Who is it that's trained her?
That's not entirely fair. I did a fair amount of that in the early days as well.
In the early days?
Yeah.
How long do dogs live for?
When we
Do
were,
they live for a few early
when we were
days?
teaching her those basic commands that she still does now, like sitting, I was heavily involved in all that. Thank you very
Who
much.
taught her to do housework?
How much housework does she do now?
She chips in when she feels like it. Who would wake up at 5:30 to be out at 6 with 2 border collies?
Best thing about this community is loose keeping Liam in check.
Thanks, Jill. Thanks for being all fucking supportive. You're amazing. I can fetch Cowdog Pug Gregor out of retirement if you want. I'm fine, Yeston, thank you. I'm fine. You're good. Justin, thank you for 10 gifted. We just need someone to come in now with a 50, right? And we'll hit the 169. No way, don't let him bully you, Luce. He's lying and you will end up doing all the work. Don't give in.
Yep.
The thing is, when we got Emmy, I was in the army. Lots of going away and being at work. And until I did this full time, always away. Always away. Now I go away perhaps once a year to America for a week to see Titans, basically, and that's about it. That's about it.
And it's in that week that something happens.
I mean, she does have history of going wrong at the most inconvenient times. The last time we were at the vets with her was midnight on the eve of a wedding where I was the best man.
And I was a bridesmaid.
And you were a bridesmaid. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Who drove her to the vets?
Because you drive. If I could drive, I guarantee you'd be like, babe, I'm best man tomorrow. I've got to get my beauty sleep.
That's not what happened.
I'll leave
Fuck
the
off.
back
That's
door
not what
open.
happened. That's bollocks. There's no way.
is what
There's
would
no way.
happen.
Not a chance. But still, who's the one that drives us to the vets all the time? Who's the one that drove to the vets for a surgery?
All the time.
Who? Yeah, because you don't fucking drive. So it's
can
got to be all the
walk
time.
to the vets.
No, for a surgery?
Obviously, she can't walk home after surgery. You fucking moron.
Half the story
If
here.
you had hospital surgery, would you be like, I'll walk home, thanks,
So
nurse.
who did the driving?
I'm going to walk.
So who did the driving?
Effective anesthesia.
So who did the driving?
Fine, I'll find my way
So who
home.
did the drive on?
You did because you drive.
Exactly.
But if I drive, just because you drive doesn't make you the best
All right.
owner.
It doesn't matter. Okay, so on that same argument, if I was home all the time and you were working, I'd have done all the training.
And then I'd be like, go for it, get another dog. But that's not the situation we find ourselves in, is it?
If my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bike. Well, at least. She's 100% right, and you know. No, not at all. I can totally see Liam saying that. Sorry, but driving a dog isn't equal to anal glands fingering. Yeah, it is.
No, it's
Is
not.
that the same?
No, it's not.
My glands are blocked.
They're not.
Justin, thank you so much for those 10, by the way.
If I shove something up your ass, it's not coming back out. So if you want your anal glands expressing, we can find a fork.
A fork? 4 fingers? Jesus Christ.
All 4 prongs.
I swear, I get on a plane for work, travel, and the dogs or the kids lose their shit, and my poor wife has to deal with the insanity. I think Luce does it on purpose. I think she waits till I go away, and then she comes up with a problem. Like the last time she did it, she hit my youngest or something, so he split his eye open. Bang, like that. Look what happened when you were away. Look what happened. Feel guilty.
That is not what happened.
I came home, chat, right? So she had to take him to the doctors to get looked at. Fucking great big gash, like his fucking skin open on his eye. I came home, and every time Luce walked in the same room as him, he flinched.
No, he didn't. That happened because they were being adorable and playing What's the Time, Mr. Wolf, and then got too excited and turned around straight into the door frame.
Yeah, that's what you told them. How many police stations there walked into a door frame?
Shall we revisit the finger that he fractured?
It was fine.
And you went, that's fine. And I went, I don't think it is. I'm taking him to minor injuries. He'd fractured his fucking finger, and you were like, that's fine.
It's fine. It's a finger.
Idiot.
It's fine. It'll fix. Liv's gonna have an ass like a broken cat flap by this time tomorrow. It's a great energy, Ed. I appreciate you. Just woke up from a nap. Glad I stayed home today. What a convo to walk into. Serkis still a grey name, chat. I'd take a Bernese Mountain Dog. What I really would love. There's 2 dogs I'd love that I will also categorically never own. Because it's not fair on them, quite frankly. 2 dogs I would love is a hair on my tongue. Is a Siberian Husky. I adore Siberian Huskies, but especially with the summers and the mild winters hit it now, I don't think it's fair on them. I also one of the best things about our dog, and if there was a studio dog, it would be trained the exact same fucking way. We can take her anywhere off the lead, and she's good as gold. Right?
Yeah.
And we have a lead with us. Of course we do. We're responsible. If anything looks even remotely close to dodgy, she'll get clipped on. But she's so obedient. You can't do that with Huskies. Well, you can. It's rare. They, like, off the lead, gone. Oh, well, I enjoyed that dog for a while. The only bonus is if it gets too expensive, off the lead, gone. Brilliant, done. And then the other one that I'd love is, I don't know exactly how you pronounce this correctly. I think it's Leon Bergen or Berger. Leon Berger? Leon Bergen? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like a fucking bear, that thing. It's huge. It's the one that stood up on its hind legs in Coventry and looked down at you.
Yeah.
With its paws on your shoulders, like, hello. Like, but again, they're massive fucking creatures. I wouldn't want. One of the officers when I was at Watersham got one as a puppy.
Yeah.
And for the first, I don't remember how long, like 9 months of its life, he worked in an office that was upstairs. For the first 9 months of its life, he had to pick it up and carry it upstairs because the development of its joints and muscles and the weight of it because of the size of the dog, if it was going to go upstairs, it would do damage to its joints. So he couldn't let it climb stairs until its legs had developed strong enough to carry its body weight upstairs or something like that. I can't remember the exact detail.
I bet that dog got heavy very quickly. Yeah.
And how often would you go, fuck, I wasn't looking for 2 minutes, he's upstairs?
Yeah.
But it's not fair. I wouldn't want to do that.
Well, I guess if a dog is naturally curious and they're just sort of sniffing around, I think it's if you're like bombing them up and down the stairs all the time, then maybe that would do damage.
Just Jupiter, thank you for the gifted. Biggie hugs, thank you for the gifted. You people are incredible. Trying to snipe Zarak. Everybody's missing. Zarak, you're doing the job well. You went snipe me and then kept fucking ducking like this. Well done, mate. Good effort. I love my Brittany. I don't like little dogs. I just don't like little dogs.
I don't like little dogs just because of how they seem to interact with big dogs.
Genius stream. I love you crazy kids. BTW Anna has no idea about hobby spendings.
Well, then we'll keep it very quiet, Adrian, now she's sat next to you. We'll keep it very quiet. Monthly costs for Adrian's hobby, about £7 to £8. That's it. That's it, innit, Luce? That's what the hobby costs monthly. About £7 to £8. Yeah.
If you haven't won a raffle.
Yeah. Get a Jack Russell. No, I don't like little gay. I don't like little dogs. Big Bad Pit Gaming. I don't like it. I'm
I think it's also, it's been my experience that when I'm out with Emmy, people who have little dogs on the retractable leads just don't seem to train them. And then because they're on a lead and they're retractable, the owners let them go off on the lead and they'll do rings around Emmy. Emmy will try and get away from them, but because typically there's more than one little dog in that family, they'll just go
but
at Emmy, and she can't get away from it
But
because they've wrapped around
it's
her
a
on
combination of people not training them and little dog syndrome all at the same time.
I get a nature of a dog that you can't necessarily train nature out of a dog. I get that, but if I'm keeping Emmy next to me, that should be the cue to the other dog owner to not let your dog come near Emmy.
Yeah.
Pisses
I
me.
hate people that don't train dogs. It's annoying. Right, chat, you've got, 48 members to go to hit the target and 4 minutes. The Leonberg is beautiful, but he can do a pool with its drool. Yeah, I mean, they're gorgeous dogs. I wouldn't want, that's a dog that I wouldn't want to deal with the upkeep. Even Huskies. A friend of mine when I was in the forces had 2 Siberian Huskies, and the molting alone, do you remember when they used to brush them? Mm-hmm. Like you couldn't see the kitchen floor under fluff. It was mad. You used to have 2 fucking prints of Huskies on the floor, basically, where they'd been brushed. It was unbelievable. And that would, her molt already annoys me enough to hoover every single day when she's in the molt, sometimes twice a day. That would be even worse. But yeah, I'm not interested in small dogs at all. I have no interest. What about the dog that comes with a little barrel of bourbon? Oh, now we're talking. Is he having a banana at? You eating a banana at 27 minutes past 10?
I'm just eating the banana because I'm just hungry.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should have eaten all your fucking dinner, shouldn't you?
I have to do my lunch break.
Okay. What about whippets? No. Rhodesian Ridgebacks. I love a Ridgeback. I love a Rhodesian Ridgeback. That was Jurgen's dog.
Yeah.
Oscar.
We had, do you remember Sophie? She had 2 Weimaranas.
I like a Weimaraner. Oh,
Mental.
Can we just live in a dog pound?
Yeah, we could.
I could, actually. Bernie's Mountain Dog. They would look great on stream. I feel like the Husky sets off the whole Viking theme, like a wolf in the studio. That would look cool. I'd be into that. But probably not. Probably not. Anyway. Ridgebacks are beautiful too. Are they not quite stubborn and dominant? Ridgebacks are gorgeous. They're very... I used to fight with Oscar, and the amount of times I come up with chunks missing from my hands where he'd bite a bit too hard, and they had big old mouths and things.
Ben's eating a banana like a sandwich.
Just because he's fucking strange. But we knew that anyway. I want an Alsatian. Yeah, I want a German Shepherd as well. That's what I said to Luce. That's the rules. Anywho, right. End of the stream. You people have been amazing. We did hit the 100 member target. We didn't hit the Valentines 169. We didn't hit the 369 likes. It's been rather disappointing, honestly. We have Vizlaz. What are they? The loose fact should be a dog fact. Well, she's been looking in her book.
Oh, you're on a dog
I'm going to be
one.
honest with you, chat, right? The last few loose facts have been just flat disappointing. So I feel like this book has probably had its best days already.
Let me see if I can find a dog one.
Alsatian is just a German Shepherd, which they renamed after the World War II. Yeah, I know. If you eventually get burnt out, you can go work in a dog rehome organisation like Luke's APS. I fucking love dogs. I love dogs. Dogs. Flat. Here's a flat fact. I've got so upset and a little bit wound up over the course of the last few months with what's been going on in the press around things like American XL bullies and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
My flat statement here typically is dogs are better than humans.
Yeah, all the time.
Dogs are just better than humans. They're loyal. They come back. They're amazing, amazing creatures and animals, and we don't treat them well. And I dread to think how many have possibly been put down or are looking to probably be destroyed in the coming months because of the legislative change in the UK. Dogs are better than humans. We don't deserve them. Quite frankly, I'm such a dog person. Like, we joke and laugh about how much Luce did, but that's part of it's because I was working, I was away, and she has done quite simply an incredible job with our animal. Kyle's in chat, Joe's been in chat, Dave's been to the house. These people could all tell you about the dog in the house. She's amazing.
I'm sorry, but I laughed so hard, sir. Luke 2024, we can find a fork.
We can find a fork. So people that have been to the house can comment on the manners of our dog and how she behaves. Luce has done, all joking aside, and no bravado for stream, Luce has done an amazing job with her. And she is incredible, isn't she, quite frankly?
She's amazing. I am going to be heartbroken.
Yeah. But we still don't deserve dogs.
No, we don't.
Staffies used to be called nanny dogs until Scruffy bastards mistrained them. Yeah, I know.
Did.
Because
they were so good with
Have
kids.
you ever come across Staffy? Have you, like, interacting with staffies?
Um,
If you interact with a well-trained family dog staffy, they are incredible dogs.
all the staffies I've met have either not been able to come off the lead, or they've been a rescue, or they're currently with a bad owner.
Yeah, Boo Boo says, I'm in the police. Of course I prefer dogs to humans when I see the evil some people can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no bad dogs, just bad owners. On the whole, not 100%, but 99.9%, Rob, I agree with that statement often.
So the staffies that can't come off the lead, there's probably just, I don't know. They're quite. Do all staffies have to be muzzled now, or is it just the XL bullies?
There's rules.
Is it all breeds of staffy?
No, but there's rules. So, for example, Quantity says the XL bully stuff grips my shit. It's affecting my non-XL American Bulldog. Just because he's a half-inch taller, he lands in the stupid classification of what an XL is. So he's not an XL bully, but because of his size, they're classifying him as XL, so he'll have to come under the same rules. It's fucking bollocks.
Yeah.
And I bet Ed as well. I know you, Ed. I bet that fucking dog of yours is good as gold as well.
So I've got a friend who has rescued a staffy, and the trouble is with rescues is you're never going to get the full truth of the history of the dog. So hard as you try, there might always be things that you're accidentally triggering, or you just don't know that there's a behaviour there until the perfect scenario comes up. And this staffy cannot come off the lead. And I've got no doubt at all that when they're at home, this is the most gentle dog ever. But because of history that you'll never know the truth about, this dog can't come off the lead, so it can't really play fetch.
There's something really backwards with the way it works in this country, though, as well. Do you not think? Because often I feel like the thing that should be punished is the owner of the dog that did the thing that created the fucking the press storm or whatever, right? So with XL bullies and the attacks that were going on, I don't think we should be looking at the breed. We should be looking at the owners in those circumstances, because quite frankly, it is frightening in this country how easy it is to get hold of any dog. Quite honestly, right? With no, like, if you want a dog, especially something like a staffy, but most dogs, quite honestly, if you really stop and think about it, most dogs in general could tear a child to bits.
Yep.
If they wanted to. Most dogs. Not every dog,
Maybe
but most
not a
dogs.
Chihuahua.
No, exactly. So I say most. But even then, little dogs like Apsos and stuff like that, a lot of them were originally bred for rodent hunting.
Yeah.
You know, if most dogs in this country in general, even our border collie, could rip a child to bits if it really wanted to, right? It just could. That's a fact. We should be looking at these owners. So these dogs are arguably, every single one of them has the potential to be dangerous, right? Driving a car incorrectly has the potential to be dangerous, so we license it, right? Owning a venomous snake has the potential to be dangerous, so we license it. How do we live in this world? I'm going to go a little bit further here, but how do we live in this world where not only owning a dog, which could be dangerous, but also bringing a child into the world, there is nothing. Go for it.
That's your. You're not having a baby.
But there's families
your
out there
body
that
does that.
But there's families out there that have a baby that mistreat it so much they get taken off them, and they just have another one, and then take it off and have another one, take it off and have another one, take them off them.
I saw a Facebook thing a little while ago that said the irony of the state, we're going to remove this baby from a family because they don't have the resources, the knowledge or the support to raise the baby properly, so we're going to give this baby to another family who incidentally receive the knowledge, support and resources. And when you word it like that, you do think,
Stu said, and I agree with this, this is exactly like, this is 100% how I see it, Stu. Do we look at what makes of car are most involved in road traffic collisions? We look at the driver, not the make of the car. Mm-hmm. It's like a gun you can pet. Mandy, 100% it is. And you're stepping on a dangerous subject, a license to have kid selective breed. No, that is a dangerous subject, Fat Fox, I agree. But dogs specifically, like they can be. And I've known people that have trained dogs as family guard dogs. I don't have a problem with this, by the way. So the dog knows that if someone isn't welcomed into the home, and they're trained for this, if someone isn't welcomed into the home, the dog will fucking go for him. I'm not against that. I'm not against that at all. Your home, no one who you don't invite into your home should be in your fucking home. It's as simple as that, right? But at that point, that dog is essentially a weapon. And we have no licensing for dogs at all. I just find it interesting.
It is a bit mad how when you take a puppy home or even a rescue. Well, rescues, I think you have to prove a few things now. So I think you have to prove what the insurance is, the vets you're going to register it with.
It depends on who.
And the microchipping is the law now.
Yeah, and they're now bringing microchipping as the law into other animals as well.
But I don't think you need to do the same with a puppy. I don't think you need to prove your insurance with a puppy or the vet you're registering with.
It depends on the seller. So if you're rescuing, you're typically rescuing via a charity. Hence, they have regulation in place themselves. Yeah. It's not legal. So this isn't an overriding set of rules and regulations put in place by a governing body. Each charity, RSPCA, Dogs Trust, etc., that lets you come and take one of their animals, has their own rules. There isn't an overriding set of rules. They just have their own rules, right? And a lot of them will come with things like house visits, look at the garden, etc. If you're buying a puppy from a breeder, there is some breeders that will go through the Border Collie Trust or Kennel Club or whatever, for example, or German Shepherd Owners Group, etc. And they'll normally, the group itself, which allows them to advertise said puppies, will have their own kind of guidelines as to what the breeder has to do, the boxes it has to tick to basically be able to advertise via that platform, essentially. But you can, as you know, find other sellers that require nothing at all. They'll just take your money and give you the puppy. So, Anyway, Whitey55, thank you for 5 more gifted, you fucking hero. I think we're probably going to end on 126. We're now, because of dog rants, we're now 7 minutes over. You had a bonus 7 minutes out of me, chat. And it's all because Luce has just promised that we can have a studio dog. So, before we go, it is, of course, the time of the night why all of you do, in fact, hang on right until the end. Okay?
I couldn't get a dog one.
Oh. Are you ready for disappointing Luce fact?
The elephant is the only mammal that can't jump.
I've never seen it.
I'd like to know how they
Although
tested
in
that.
Dumbo, he jumps quite a lot.
No, he doesn't. He flies.
Doesn't he jump off to fly?
No, that's not like... No, it's not the same as sort of springing off a board as to jump over a hurdle. That's not the same thing.
It's still a jump.
No. What Dumbo did doesn't really count as a jump. Plus, he's a cartoon.
I've never seen a sloth jump.
I challenge you to watch the scene in Dumbo where Dumbo's mum is rocking him in her trunk to, is it Baby Be Mine or a song, something like that, and to not cry.
I've never seen a sloth jump. I don't feel like a sloth could jump.
Well, there's your answer.
They don't have the upward speed momentum.
Right, I'm Googling.
To get off the ground,
Can
right?
a sloth jump? Can a sloth
Krista
jump?
says, rhino? Question mark. Whitey55 is like, I can't jump.
Sloths can't jump, but are they mammals?
A sloth's a mammal.
Are they?
Yeah, what else are they going to
My
be?
book says that elephants are the only mammal.
Sloths fall with style, says Nurgle Matthew.
Are sloths mammals?
I can't jump and I'm not a mammal anymore. Can a dolphin or whale jump? Yeah, you see dolphins jump through the water, don't you?
Sloths are mammals and they can't jump. This book is wrong. Book is wrong.
I instantly found the proof.
Did you just think of the world's slowest animal?
I just love sloths.
No, you don't.
I do love sloths.
Really?
Yeah. Flash is my favourite cartoon character.
From?
Zootropolis.
It's not a cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
It's not a cartoon.
It's animated.
It's not a cartoon.
Same.
No.
I'm a huge fan of hippopotamus hurdles. Sloths can't jump. There you go. Mammals that can't jump. Instantly disproved. That is a loose fact.
You're welcome.
There we go. See? And that's why I don't trust anything in that fact book. This is why loose fact exists. Because the first few were like that, and they're like, it's nonsense. Anyway, it's now 10 minutes past the end of the show. So thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Tomorrow at 13:30, we have the Liam and Joe show. I don't yet have a topic. What you 155 people can do for me if you want to is, as soon as the stream ends in about 2 minutes, put a comment in the comment section below with an idea for a topic. I promise you nothing. I might use none of them. But put your idea for a topic in the video comments below, and it also helps my algorithm, and make sure you smash that like button, okay? Do that for me. At 19:30 tomorrow, Liam and Joe, I don't know what I talked about myself in the third person there, we're going to be live with another live game of 40k. I don't know if the armies are playing yet, but we will be live tomorrow evening, and we're showcasing the LCA terrain, Lazy Cut Artek's brand new terrain set, which there's also a Kickstarter for. Keep an eye out tomorrow for all the details. I really want him to do well on this Kickstarter, because I want to fill Hobby House with his terrain, because it's beautiful. So I really could do with him keeping his terrain going for the next 6 months, chat. Just saying, right? Friday we're back with 40k After Dark. Over the weekend there'll be a bunch of Twitch-based content, because I want to build some more Berserkers and a tank and more Dark Angels, and I'm just happy right now. Okay, I'm just happy. So there we go. And then we'll be back to normal routine next Monday as well, hopefully. Okay, topic for the Liam and Joe show, Dave. I just said it. Just fucking listen, all right? Flash is Brom. Brilliant. Should we call him Flash from now on? Should that be his nickname? Should I buy him another 40k top with Flash across the back?
And put blink and you miss it.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys are incredible. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Anything you want to say, Lise?
Nope.
Okay, so thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in, hang on, where's my button? In the next one.